podcast family. Welcome back to the Waxing Podcast. This is a really fun couple of weeks coming your way because I decided to do a little mini holiday series featuring Mackenzie from the Wax Room AZ. So many people have loved her story, especially from being someone who was an employee to a suite owner to a brick and mortar who has multiple employees. She's so much fun. She's also one of my truest friends. So we thought, what better way of kicking the holiday season off with just relaxing and getting to know myself and Mackenzie a little bit better. So we share things like how her business is going, her trends that she sees for 2024, if she's going to hit her goals this year, followed by products that we love, products we don't love. There's so much fun information here for you. We've broken it down to 20 to 30-minute episodes going this couple of next weeks until the holiday ends. So I'm really excited for you to take a listen. Before we get into today's episode, I want to share a lot of really fun things that are happening beyond the Waxing Podcast. As we know, the holiday season is all forgiving, and Enso Wax is giving you the exclusive savings this holiday season. So right now, when you go on to ensowax.com, and if you're not familiar with Enso Wax, it is a beautiful wax warmer that is self-stirring. It has so many features, innovative, patent pending, and made by yours truly. If you don't believe me, go check it out. It's amazing. Right now during the holiday seasons, we are deciding to give back. So for every $100 you spend at ensowax.com on a gift card, we are giving you $25. And so the math is mathing. This is such a great deal. Like I said, we are gifting you $25 for every $100 spent. This is a perfect opportunity to upgrade your room in 2024 with the most innovative wax warmer to date. My second offer going on right now, which is something that you can locate in the show notes below, is going to be my free class that I'm offering. It's called Time is Money. It is an on-demand class, so it's truly ready for you whenever you're ready. But this class is all about making more money in Brazilian waxing. So if you're somebody who's struggling with your wax time or your technique, this is a perfect class for you. Like I said, it is free, and it comes with an amazing offer after the free class to continue your education, but I am throwing in an additional 10% off just because I feel like giving this year on all of my platforms. And so go to the show notes below. You'll click Time is Money. You'll watch your free class. And then if you want to continue your education, I am giving you an extra 10% off using the code TAMPAHOLIDAY. And without further ado, I am so excited to bring you this holiday series episode with Mackenzie and I hope that you enjoy it. Bye, guys.
By the time these episodes come out, you're gonna have your sample.
I'm gonna have my sample.
Duo.
I know. I'm waiting for them to message me back. It's funny. I keep getting like a Gmail notification and I'm like instantly like this because I'm waiting for them just to confirm if it's out or not. But they did say Monday for sure, which obviously in the time that people are listening to this, Monday is like an abstract concept. It's like Monday of when, but like when, as you and I are talking, it's supposed to be in the next couple of days. Yeah. And then I'll have a sample, which is like so crazy. Okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm going to record myself opening the package, but it won't be stories and it won't be anything live because I don't know my reaction. And like, here's the thing. And this is always what makes me nervous about saying this stuff out loud because it's pre-launched, it's live, the concept's here. I'm confident that the engineers did the right things, and I'm more confident because the manufacturers have in fact confirmed this as they've created the mold, but there's still a little piece of me that's like doesn't believe it to be true.
Yeah.
So like when I get it, I just feel like I'm going to be so mean and like harsh. There's nobody who's going to look over this warmer like me. I can guarantee you that. But I'm like, I'm anticipating the worst and I'm trying really hard not to be like that.
I think though just coming from experience, like this is obviously like minor compared to like what you're doing, or what you've done, I guess you could say. But when we made our commercial for the wax room, our video, when I tell you I was not pumped about it at all, I was not pumped. Like the whole time we were filming it, I'm like, this is trash. Like this is not going to turn out. Like I freeze when I get in front of the camera like that. And like when there's people standing there watching me, I'm like, we talked about this. We need teleprompters. We need something
We need
going.
teleprompters.
Like I'm not an actress. Like I don't, and I can't just like wing it really. But I tell you, I was like, this is not going to be anything. My expectations were basically zero. And then when I got the video, I was like, my jaw was to the floor. I was like, oh my God, like,
okay, wait, I have a question.
This is amazing. So I feel like maybe this is going to be a good outcome.
Yeah. How much did you pay for that?
That's the other thing is it wasn't a lot. It was, which was also because like it was, how much was it? It was around $600, I think. Around $600.
I feel like that's a lot. No? For one video?
She was there like 3 hours. She got...
Yeah, but what did that video get clipped down to?
30 seconds.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
So just for comparison, so the project that I cannot say out loud that I did with Fur.
Yeah.
That costs a lot.
Yeah.
Of money.
I mean, I don't know like how much like videos cost. Like I feel like I'm better off with like the photography stuff, like comparing prices and like what's a lot and what's not a lot. But the video, I was like, oh, maybe this will be like $1,000 I was expecting. And because it was like 600, I was like, maybe it's not going to be anything, because to me, I thought that was like low, but like, I don't know, but
no, I feel like it's not like saying it's overpriced. I'm saying like though for $600 to me that makes sense, and like that you got it back and was like, oh, this is really good, because I feel like for $600 for 30 seconds, like it would be good.
Oh, okay.
Like I would not be concerned.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was concerned, and I was like, my expectations were zero, and then I was really, really happy with the outcome. So maybe that's what's going to happen for you. Well, you're feeling like, I don't know. And then you see it and you're going to be like pleasantly surprised with the way it is in person.
Dude, speaking of teleprompters, when I went up, okay.
We talked about this.
The freaking project that Fur hired me to do, which I was the only one who got paid for it, by the way. Anybody who spoke on that project was internal and already given a salary. So me being a contractor, which I was a contractor for Fur, it was not a part of my daily activities there.
Yeah.
And so as a contractor, I had a right to offer or ask for more money. Okay. Right. That's a whole nother dicey topic.
Yeah.
However, so I got paid separately to go up there and be a part of this project. When I tell you that I sucked so bad, and I was sitting there and I'm like, it was awful, Mackenzie. It was awful. I have never had such a bad time in front of a camera like I did at that Fur project. And I think it's because I fought to the nail to get paid for it. And then I went up there and I sucked. And I was like, but I needed a teleprompter. I needed a fucking teleprompter. And they didn't listen. Nobody listened. Not even they. There's no they, but like there's so many processes to get things done at a business. Like it's not,
when there's that many people involved.
Right. It's not like the CEO and CMO are like, no teleprompter, Kirsten. There's processes, but like the team did not provide a teleprompter, and it was so bad. And they had to, like, I'm not kidding you, Mackenzie. One of my coworkers was feeding me line by line, and she was like, welcome. I mean, here, let me say something else, because I'm like, I can't give away what the project is because it's literally not live and I signed an NDA contract. Yeah. It was like, I'm Kirsten Getzelman. I've been a licensed esthetician for 11 years and I'm a proud fur professional. Okay. It was like, okay, say that. And I was like, I'm Kirsten. I am an esthetician and I've been doing it for 11 years. I'm like, what the fuck is coming out of my mouth? Like I could not repeat a sentence back. So they had to take the computer and
Make a
write.
teleprompter,
They had to
basically.
make me a teleprompter. And I'm thinking, okay, so we're sitting here and I really like the people in the room that were doing the actual production. And like the business owner has a freaking Emmy. He won an Emmy. And I'm like, to think about the people he's worked with, and then he's got me and my dumbass.
Listen, we're not those people, and that's okay. But we try. We try. And we like
Yeah.
genuinely sometimes want to be those people. And so we try really hard. And like, it's cool to know that you try these things and you know what? It's not for you. It's not for me. That's how I came to be with the whole public speaking. That Dallas show last year. That was when
Traumatizing.
that was when I was like, you know what? Not for me.
And literally everyone got asked back but you and me.
So that just solidified it. And it's like, you know what? I tried it. I'm thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
I will always say yes. I will always say yes, pretty much.
So you'll do it again if you got asked. You just said you'd always say yes. I would say yes because I have a problem. I have a big problem.
I think it just depends on like what the show would be and like what it is that I'm speaking about. And I would if I said yes, I would 100% hire somebody to write and do all of it for me, and then I can just regurgitate.
I
you
like
know what
that
I'm saying?
actually.
Because
yeah, no, I do.
I'm not a writer, and like that's what like I'm not a writer. I'm not like I don't put words together. I took English 102 3 times and dropped out 3 times. Like I'm not that person. So it's like I would say yes, but I'm 1000% hiring someone to like create it for me, tell me what to say, and I will do it. Like I'm the president. Like write me my speech and I'll say it.
I also feel like it's funny, and this is like so contradictory to like everything that I'm about to say, but because I suck so bad, if I were to do public speaking, I want to be paid a lot for it. Because I'm not going to waste my time feeling so debilitatingly nervous if I'm not going to get debilitating. I mean, Mackenzie, you literally started rashing out on your chest. That's always how I know that you're really nervous because you peak signs of it. Like your whole body heats up.
I know, which is adds to the embarrassment, really, because everyone knows, like, oh, this girl is nervous.
It's like you can hear it in my voice. Like there's no hiding my vocal cords when I'm nervous. Like I simply cannot do it. But when I get asked, I always say yes. And that's my problem is that I like challenge myself because I believe one day it won't be as hard.
And I agree with that too, which is why I like to do it too. But like that Dallas one really like, that one did me dirty. I'm just like, no.
Well, didn't you feel like too, maybe this makes sense to you, but the Dallas show was very high end and like for a lot of people who were like medical estheticians who like injected and things like that. So like my topic felt so stupid.
Yeah, I felt like I should not have been there. Well, like I'm talking about pre-booking and like retaining clients, and I'm like looking around and I'm like, there's like 10 people in my room, and I'm like, this is like an entry level topic. These people these people run med spas. These people are like, they've been there, done that, like whatever, like they know. And so it just, not to be like, I am big on like, even if you're at the top, it's really good to like get reminded of the little things. So like I am big onto that, but it just felt not the time or place.
I wasn't, I mean, obviously the event in itself was so beautiful, but and I just, also I never got paid for that, by the way. I don't know. And I think it was my fault, but I was supposed to get paid and I didn't. And they said they sent me a check and I never got it. And then I followed up once. They said they resent it. I never got it. And then at that point, I'm like, they fucking hate me. I'm just going to like take the L.
So I washed my hands with that too, because like it was supposed to be like a $400 flight stipend or whatever. And I think my flights were like around $400, but I requested an additional night at the hotel and I never paid for that. So I was just like, okay, I guess we're just even. Like, and the trip was essentially like, I didn't pay for the stay. I got an extra night. you know, and then the flight was like, whatever, I guess. I'm like, it is what it is.
Speaking of
It wasn't
shows,
like I was waiting for like $1,000. If that would be a different story.
totally. Yeah, I agree. I just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shows, though,
Yeah.
what are you excited for next year? I want to talk about,
Yeah.
let's just dive into shows for a second. Because
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know about you. Let's share our experiences.
Okay.
I didn't go to a show until a lot later in my career.
Same.
And I think about this now and I'm like, what a missed opportunity of resources that are pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
close by.
Yes.
Let me clarify that. Like I'm in Tampa, there's a show in Orlando. It's like
Miami.
$100.
Mm-hmm.
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah.
West Palm there, whatever.
Yeah, but Orlando's somewhere that I could go for the day and drive
Quickly.
back home and still go
Okay.
into my bed.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
thinking like low cost, low
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, there's other places in my state. But I'm like, why am I now being like, why am I so gun ho on shows now and not back then? Like what changed?
For
Marketing?
me, well, no, I don't think, maybe, yeah, with social media. But for me personally, I didn't even know those existed until a few years ago. And that's because when I worked for the corporate waxing chain that I worked for, they kept you in a hole. Like you had no idea. Like there was
Mhm.
even like an outside world to the industry at all. Like I had no idea. So it wasn't until I went on my own and like really like the IECSE, like that's a big one. Like I feel like I
Huge.
kind of knew about it, sort of, but like not really. And it wasn't until I was like on my own doing things that it was like starting to come up more and more often. And I was like, okay, like maybe we should go to these shows and do these things. And I will say though, I've only been to 2 shows, the IECSC in Vegas, both last year and the year before. I was supposed to go to the Long Beach show that just happened recently, but because of like the hurricane and stuff, like it didn't work out. But um I will say like I still have not taken full advantage of what the shows have to offer because there is a lot to do there and I feel like it's for me I'm very overwhelmed by them. So it's just taking me a little bit longer to kind of like get into it. So
I actually think that's a goal that would be a good goal for you is like to go to the shows and actually
like be more,
plan
yes, which
out
I
what you want to
am.
do. I
Yes,
know.
because you're going to
Yeah.
see us at IACSE New York next
Yeah.
year in March. My whole team is coming. And we do plan on going to the show Sunday and spending like the day there. There's one lecture that we're all going to as a team, like first thing in the morning. And I mean, you kind of have to look at the lectures to see like what, you know, aligns with you, but we're all going to do that. I was like, we are going to go to a lecture. I was like, we have to do something as well, not just walk around and look at stuff. But this show, I'm using it more of like a mission to like, okay, we're going to go to this lecture. We're going to talk to people and we're going to introduce
Mhm.
ourselves to people. It's not just going to be me. I'm going to make my team be like, stick out your hand. Let's introduce ourselves to these people and like just mingle a little bit more and just put ourselves out there a little bit more. The last 2 years, I feel like I was just kind of like walking around and looking and just like observing more, kind of.
Talking me down from a panic attack.
Yeah.
What a
Last year.
summer.
What a summer. What a time.
God. Um yeah, I think that's really cool. My
Mm,
goal for March cuz I want to be in New
mm,
York as well. So
mm,
there's a couple of ways I might be in New York.
mm.
I might go to New York for fur.
Okay.
I might do a class for them, which is
Oh,
funny because I don't see that as public speaking for some reason because it's more of
yeah.
like a demo.
Yeah.
So I kind of just do and show and talk and answer
Yeah.
questions. Like to me,
Yeah.
that's super easy. It's the talking about a topic that I don't care about, like type of thing, like the one we did in
Yeah.
Dallas. But when I think about fur and public speaking for them, unless I'm like talking about like all the products like I would in a webinar, like that's public speaking to me because it's
Mm,
just so structured. But when it's like a
right.
demo and it can be a little bit looser in structure,
Yes.
that's where I feel like I shine.
Yeah.
So I'll either go with fur because I don't know if they're going to hire out for my position. I have people that have asked me that, and I don't know. The answer is I don't know. Or I will have my own booth, which is really exciting. But I can't get a booth until I get this fucking warmer.
Yeah.
Would you imagine if I paid for a booth?
You have nothing there.
And I have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
No. But I'm getting close. And the wax.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
go to
so
that in a
happy
second.
that yours was nailed.
Mine's, yeah. Okay, but anyway, so
Yes.
or I'll go there with a booth, or of course because I loved New York. If anybody, so I've had the luxury, and I will say for the last 2 years, to be at a lot of shows, and I was a part of that because of Fur. And I will tell you, I've been to New York, I've been to West Palm, Dallas. Oh no, not Dallas. That was for that event. Vegas, Long Beach, and that's it. So I guess I've been to, well, that's still a lot, 4 different locations, right?
Yeah.
New York was my favorite. I felt like it was huge for one, like it was massive. I will tell you though, for all of you listening, if you have to pee, you need to go beforehand. I'm not kidding you. If you have to pee, you need to go beforehand. They had one bathroom in the whole exhibit.
You're joking.
Except for if you left the exhibit and like went all the way across to another bathroom. It was insane. I'm like, how is there only one restroom?
Yeah.
And the line was insane. It was awful. So if you have to pee, go beforehand and don't drink water when you're there.
Okay.
It's such a random thing. But anyway, it was my favorite show. It had the most people. It had the most exhibits. I felt like it had the best energy that I've been to. And so if you had to spend your money, that would be where I would spend it, I think.
You've talked this up before, and that's what also like sold me on like, we're going to New York. First of all, nothing against Vegas, but I'm just like, bro, we've been there, done that. Let's class this up a little bit. Let's class it up. Bro.
I can't do it anymore.
No, I'm just like over it. I'm
so
just
hot.
It's just gross. I'm just like done. And like, I mean, I live in Arizona, so I've been to Vegas. Like, we're good.
Totally.
So, and I've been to New York a few times. It's been years since I've last been, but I love New York. And the way you talked up the show there, the IACSC there, I was just like, oh my gosh, that sounds like so amazing. And I love the fact that Fur is going to be there and that Star Pill's going to be there, because they both don't come to the Vegas show. Totally. And just like mingle and whatever with all those different kind of people that we don't see on the West Side. And this time of year, like the beginning of March in New York, it's their off season. So it's actually been incredibly affordable for us to go. And that's been like amazing, obviously. But the whole team is coming. And I'm also going a week early because I'm like that. And my husband and Styles are coming too. So we're going to have a little vacay, and then the team's coming in.
What's the dates?
So I will be there February 25th through the 1st of March. And then the show is the 3rd of March through the 5th of March. It's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
That's right. That's right. So Roman is turning 5 March 6th. And we want to take him to New York for his 5th birthday because he's absolutely obsessed with the trains stations. Like,
oh my gosh,
yes,
they have the transit museum. Oh my god, please come before. Please come before.
I know. Do you have somebody going with you, or is it just going to be you, Devin, and Styles?
Us three.
You're not like you don't want to like go out and on the town like in New York. There's so many places to go as like an adult.
I know, but I've been to some. I mean, I've done that already a little bit. I haven't done that a lot, but I have done that.
I would be bringing somebody. No, we want to bring Jeremy's mom. I'm like, no, I have so many places that I want to go to as an adult.
Yeah,
like rooftop dinners and things like that.
I've done some of that though, so I'm kind of like.
Okay. Well, maybe
we're just gonna go and see what happens.
Well, maybe Liz will come to the rescue for you one night.
Maybe.
So that's really cool. Also, the ice cream museum is in New York.
Yes, the ice cream museum is in there. There's the Gazillion Bubble Show, which I've kind of like heard if things about, but there's the
Mm,
Transit Museum. I'm going to take Styles there with
yeah.
like all the trains. There's a carousel in Battery Park that is like a fish. It's like kind of like an art structure too, but it's like an actual working carousel. It's like these giant fish that's like gorgeous looking, like not like colorful. It's like, really
Yeah.
nice fish, and it's like a carousel. So I have like a lot of things to do like for Styles. And Devin, my husband, like he's not a big sightseeing guy. So like we're not gonna do sights. We're just gonna like do food and like shop and basically just pretend we live there for a week and just be
Love
like
this for
chill.
you. That's
Yeah.
literally me every time I go up there for work. I'm
Yeah.
always like, I refuse to look like a tourist. Like, I will
Yeah.
I will look at my map. It will say, 42nd and 17th, and you bet your ass my phone goes back into my pocket, and I'm like, because it's easy. I mean, once
Yeah.
you've been there enough, it's easy. You just follow the grid.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a
Thank God
grid.
it's on a grid. Thank God.
Because then
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm like, not that bitch that's
Yeah.
like walking down the thing like this. Cause I'm like, no, I'm gonna look like I'm from New York. And I swear to
Yeah.
God, I do. You will,
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I could see you right now.
yeah,
Just
I go into like a
strutting your
whole
stuff.
different personality.
That's the thing. That's one thing that I like find so fascinating about New Yorkers and like the people that live there is just like they're cool. They know they're cool. They don't give a
Mm-hmm.
shit what you look like or what you're wearing either. They're
Mm-mm.
just like doing their thing. They're so focused. They're like determined. They're just like I just think they're so fascinating, and I just like
Yep.
love that. And like to just like pretend I'm that for like a few days will make me
You know
happy.
what? This brings me into like a topic because I traveled like all month of October, and we traveled into like very different areas. So, like, for instance, I traveled into Georgia, into a really small town where it was super quiet. And I directly went from there to New York.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I was in Georgia the whole time, like, we went to like a couple of like things where like we saw alpacas, and like there was
Oh,
like
okay.
this older woman who was showing us about the alpacas and things like that. And like she was just so chill and just very mellow. And like you could just tell her life is completely the opposite of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, and this is like such a interesting question. And I actually want to ask you it because I want to know your point of view on this. But like I was talking to Jeremy and I was like, I can totally see why people who want to be successful go around busy areas because the constant go helps you be in that mindset. Because when I was in Georgia, like all I wanted to do was slow down and
Mhm.
relax. Like I had such a different mindset. And like the woman that was doing the alpaca farm, like you can just tell like she, grew her own plants. Like it was a very like slow life.
Mhm.
And I'm like, so it leads me to ask this because I'm from a small town and I
Mhm.
don't feel like I ever had the go that I have now that I live in like the downtown city of Tampa.
Mm.
And that's why I think people move to New York because they feel that motivation through everyone else. Therefore, they try to keep up with the Joneses. Where I'm like, but then I don't ever want that to feel like someone in a small town can't feel that way either. It's not that.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying like that energy that you feel from cities is so
Mhm.
different from like the rural areas. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think you pretty much nailed it on the head there because um like we go to California a lot, and when we go there, I can completely unplug and just like be chill. And I'm like the whole time I'm there, I'm like, oh, I wish my life would be like this every day or whatever. But
Mhm.
that's like kind of like the recharge to like the battery, I guess, to like once I get
Mhm.
back, it's like, okay, move, move, move. But I do think that energy is just electrifying, I feel like. And that's why people that like feel that are from small towns that feel like they're meant for something bigger move to like the bigger cities because that's just like the energy they give off. And um yeah, so I feel like I agree with you on that.
It's just like when I look at these big brands, like the big brands that make it, not even in our industry, but just in general, like beauty brands,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. It's like they all live in like LA, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Miami. Like they're, you don't often find a brand who is like in bumfuck Egypt of like
Yeah.
Montana.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
unless they
know,
were already big and then go there.
unless they were already big and go there. You
Yes.
know? So, like, my point is like, because I also look at those people that live in those small towns and I'm like, I can totally see why when you get older or when you've
Mm-hmm.
become successful, you
Mm-hmm.
start to drift off into nowhere land
Yeah.
because you kind of get to just, I don't know, be more authentically like you or relax. I
Mm.
don't really know the right words for it, but I'm like, it's so weird because I got to do a back-to-back situation where I was in
Yeah.
Georgia and then I was in New York, and I was like, I felt like two totally different people.
Yeah. 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 I'm with
So
you on
it's
that.
like, are you more motivated if you live in big cities, or is it a mindset? It's probably a mindset, but in
I'm
my
sure
head,
it's a
I'm thinking it
mindset.
helps.
Yeah. I think it's for sure a mindset and definitely helps, I think, for sure. Cause like, people always say it's like, or, when people think of New York, I guess you kind of think of like the people that like go there with $500 in their pocket and like they make it big because it's like they believe that's where all the successful people are. And it's like
Mhm.
you congregate, you go together, and you like feed off each other. So I think that's definitely, but it's a mindset too, I think for sure. Because like I wouldn't consider
Yeah.
like where I'm at a big city. Like, I mean, Phoenix is definitely getting bigger for sure.
Mhm.
And like a lot of people are moving here. There's actually a ton of influencers that live here, in Scottsdale or whatever. But
I
um,
could see that.
yeah, but I don't know where I was going with that. Did you watch this kind of reminded me of stuff, but did you watch the Beckham documentary on Netflix?
I want to watch it. I don't know why I haven't watched it, but I want to watch it. Is it
It
really
took
good?
me, it's really freaking good. And you will, even though it's about, David Beckham doing his football sport or whatever, there is so many similarities between an athlete and entrepreneurs. I just,
Mhm.
the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, I get that. Like, I can relate to that. Not like the beginning episodes, but like the later episodes when he's like retired and like he doesn't know what to do now. And he's just like cleaning his kitchen 500 times a day or like whatever. Cause like there's so much energy and so much passion and so much, just like do good that you want to do. And it's like you channel it into your work. And I don't know, it was just very interesting. I highly recommend it. You should watch it.
No, I wanted to watch it ever since the clip of um Victoria being like, I grew up in a poor family, and David was like, what kind of car did your dad drive?
Yes. Yeah. I
And
think
it's not, I
yeah.
don't think he was trying to like mortify her and make her
No.
feel bad. I think it was genuinely such a good, funny moment of how you know the relationship goes. And like it was
Yes.
totally her being like, okay, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like her, but like her just, that's, I don't know. It was just
That's
funny.
her
I mean,
experience, but yeah.
it
It's
is.
it's they definitely like obviously they're like older than us. So I was like a kid in the 90s. So, early 2000s, and it's like I didn't know a lot of like obviously what they went through until like watching the documentary, but they definitely seem like really cool, down to earth people, like regardless. It's just really
As
interesting
down to
how
earth
like
as you can be.
as down to earth as you can be, and like they just seem like they genuinely do like are obsessed with each other and like love each other and
Yeah.
like whatnot. I just think it was really good. I think entrepreneurs, anyone would really enjoy it. I think it was really cool to see. You would like it. You would love it.